Now we're ready to work on our eye contact drill. In this drill, I'm going to be holding a piece of food in each hand. In my fingertips, I'm going to have my palms facing upward so I can hinge at the wrist. There might be a little bit of elbow movement as well, just kind of pulling them away like this, but you definitely want your movements to be fairly staccato or sharp like this. What I'm going to be doing is putting the food right in front of Lola's face, and each time that she tries to go towards the food, I'm going to bump it away. And that's basically going to teach her that going towards the food and trying to grab it is not going to work. As soon as she's no longer trying to grab the food, even for a brief moment where she sort of, the food's here and she sits back and doesn't try to grab it, I'm going to make some noise. It's either going to be a kissy sound or a clicky sound or something similar. And when she looks up at me, that's where I'm going to mark it with my yes and then give her the food. Couple things. I'm going to alternate the hand that I give the food with because I am using two hands and I don't want her to always predict that the right hand is only going to be the one that gives the food. And the second thing is the attention that we're trying to get from her to look up. We're typically going to do it with a sound, but for some dogs, it's actually very helpful to just give a little, like a little puff of air. And when they feel it touch them, they look up to see where it comes from. And then you mark yes. At some point though, we're going to be making sure that she's making eye contact with us before we say yes and give her the treat. Let's see how she does. We want to make sure that we keep working at this until we can get these treats down mouth level. I don't want her to already be looking up before I make my noise for her to look away from the food. The other thing that's really important is not to try to make your noise and get her to look when she's still trying to nose at the food. Yes, good. So if I'm trying to get her attention while she's fixated on the food, I'm really working against a lot of drive and energy on her part. So I want to wait until she's no longer trying to grab the food. Yes. Good girl. There you go. Good job. Watch your fingertips. These puppy teeth are sharp. Yes. Good girl. She's already figured out the game. So when she makes eye contact, I mark it with a yes. This drill is really big on impulse control, right? So when we're talking about bite inhibition in a puppy, it's a really good one. Yes. Good girl. Yes. Good. Excellent. Good job. Nice. Okay. So what you're doing in this drill is you're establishing some impulse control, right? You're putting the food literally right in front of her mouth, but she's not allowed to grab it. You're teaching her to look to you to get what she wants. And you're basically controlling food, which is a bit of a relational type of structure or information for her about kind of who's in charge at this point. You're getting that eye contact. And what we're going to do, once you get to the point where you put this food down and she immediately looks up with no hesitation. Okay, so once she's no longer doing that, and then she looks up at you, by default, and she's not quite there yet, then what you're going to do is you're going to distract her with the food like this, and then you go, yes, good girl, and start to teach her to look back even though the food might be moving a little, and we're going to put her name on that, okay? So I'll put the food down. We're a little early on this now, but if she were already just looking right at me, I'd put the food out. Lola, yes, good girl, just like that. So we actually, at that point, once she's by default looking at us with no hesitation, not trying to grab the food, we're going to actually distract her with the food and then say her name to get her to look back at us. And that's how we teach our dog. When we say their name, they should look at us and make eye contact. All right. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.